Hey guys, at JJ Coder here with another loan roundup.
You came along just like a song and brightened my day. Who'd have believed that you were part of a dream? Now it all seems like years away. You know I can't smile without you. I can't smile without you. I can't laugh, I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. And I feel sad when you're sad. I feel glad when you're glad. If you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile without you.
First one to start is Alfie Devine. Came on a 75th minute sub in Preston's 1-1 draw with Coventry. A really good result for them. Coventry are flying high. So with regards to that, I think he is becoming more of a player at that sort of level. So I think, whether it be Preston or somebody else, I think he'll be in the Championship next year, and hopefully we can get around, as I keep saying, about £5 million, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Will Lancashire played 67 minutes. He actually started for Oxford in their 1-1 draw against Blackburn. Hasn't scored again, so a little bit of a worry. But as I said, from what I understanding is the club had set a sort of a target of 10 goals this season, which the fact that he's well on way with that, you can kind of accept a few bad weeks. But let's hope that picks up and he can get back on the scoring trail soon. George Abbott still injured, so we knew that was going to be a long one. So hopefully sooner rather than later he gets back. Yang Min Hyuk, he played 70 minutes in Portsmouth 1-0 loss to Swansea. A bit of a difficult one there. Obviously, they're fighting relegation. He's in and out of the team. We'll have to see how that sort of pans out with it. But it's nice to see him get a longer run out. Hopefully we can see him back to the form that he had for them, where he had a real purple patch. So fingers crossed we see that sooner rather than later. Ashley Phillips, we weren't expected to see because he was suspended after picking up 5 yellow cards. Vuskovic didn't play. They didn't have a game. They'll have one at the weekend. Jamie Donnelly, I'm really hoping that sooner rather than later we'll hear that deal is being terminated. The poor bloke, Stoke are on a bit of a bad run and he still can't get off either, the bench or out of the squad, and it's just ridiculous. It absolutely is. I'm really hoping that Tottenham have got something lined up for him to go straight to, because, come 1st of Jan, we should see him welcome at another club, because, you can understand if the team's flying high, which is why you could accept the fact that, with regards to it, why he wasn't being put in the squad. The fact now that they aren't doing as well and having a bit of a bad patch, you would think to still not be in the squad, that's criminal. That really is, so, but we'll have to wait and see with regards to that. Manor Solomon, played, he came on as a 63rd minute sub in their 3-2 defeat against FC Copenhagen. My understanding is that they now can't qualify for the knockout stages. I think they might be able to still reach the playoffs, but there's only 2 games left, so it's going to be tricky with regards to that. Whether he stays there or not, I think a conversation will be had, because the minutes seem to be quite sporadic for him there. So we're getting to that point where, it might be that he gets moved on or something gets looked at with regards to it. Damola Ajayi was a 74th minute sub in Doncaster's 2-0 loss to Stockport County. Again, I think he falls into a similar category there. Could he get another loan elsewhere? We'll have to wait and see, because again, his minutes are quite sporadic as well. Tyrese Hall was actually suspended for this one. I wasn't sure when he was going to be suspended, but he was suspended for the game this week. Mikey Moore, he came on as a 59th minute sub in Rangers' 2-1 loss to Ferencváros, which interestingly, if anybody didn't know, is managed by Robbie Keane, doing a fantastic job out there. Has won the Hungarian league, and at top of the table again. So maybe someone that Spurs look at in the future. Who knows? Obviously, I think that's a difficult one there because Rangers have had a terrible Europa League campaign, so I think the sooner they're out of that, the better. They can then focus on the league and get themselves back up the table. In the league, he's been doing really well, so let's hope he can continue that in terms of the next game. Now, with the final one, I was a little bit... I've heard that actually with Alfie Dorrington, because I thought he just wasn't getting picked and he was being dropped from the squad. My sources have told me that actually he was injured and he's been playing himself back into fitness, which is why he hasn't played as much as he normally does. Hopefully, we will then start to see him back in that starting lineup because, he had a really good loan spell with them. Obviously won the Scottish Cup. So you'd like to hope that we can see him back in that team. Obviously, he was a 78th minute sub in Aberdeen's 1-0 loss to Strasbourg. That was always going to be a tough game. Strasbourg are doing really well under Liam Rosenior, who I expect at some point to see back in the manager in the Premier League. I think at some point he'll get picked up. But obviously, we're just hoping now that he will then continue to get further minutes and go from there. So there will be another one of these probably on Tuesday, looking to do that, because obviously we've got the weekend's fixtures as well. But let us know what you think. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think some are doing better than others? Are there ones like I think, like Donnelly, where you think get him out, get him somewhere else? And if you do, where could he go? I think a lot of these players that if they're going to be pulled should go to like the German league. We've seen the success that Vuskovic has had. Could others have similar success? Who knows? We'd have to wait and see on that. But also as well, who could go on loan? I think we could see a few of the younger players go on loan. Obviously Dragusin, Takai, Kinski. I've said them before. I think getting them back to full fitness could alone help them with that. We'll have to wait and see, but let us know what you think. Also, don't forget, in my bio on Twitter, which is at JJCoda, so that's JJCODA, there is a link in there to help my daughter raise money for Huntington's disease. So if you could give whatever that you could give, it would mean so much. So thank you so much for everybody who has already. But give me a follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram. Let us know what you think. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
You came along just like a song, and